tatatvam srunumunam. So, listen, O mind, if you desire in every birth to reside in the land of Raj with loving attachment and to serve the youthful couple Shri Radha Krishna in close proximity, then clearly remember and offer obeisances to Sri Swarup, means Swarudamra Goswami, Sri Rupa and Rupa Goswami, and his associates in Vrindavan, and to Sri Rupa's elder brother, Sri Sanatan Goswami. you know, so I'm reading the translation again. Listen, O mind, if you desire in every birth to reside in the land of Raj with loving attachment and to serve the youthful couple of Sri Radha Krishna in close proximity, then clearly remember and offer obeisance to Sri Swarupdamodar Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami and his associates in Vrindavan, and Rupa Goswami's elder brother Sanatan Goswami. So, first thing is, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, is Vraj Bhakti available? I mean, especially Ragatmika Bhakti, actually. I cannot say Vraj Bhakti. I mean, Vraj Bhakti is Ragatmika Bhakti, yes. So, Sadhana Bhakti is two types. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. You know? So, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Vaidhi means vidhi, regulation. We are training our mind. We don't want, I don't want to get up and attend Mangalarti. When you get up. I know it's very difficult to chant my rounds, extra rounds, whatever. Man, the 16 rounds, then you train. I don't want to, I don't want to be humble. No, but this is very pleasing, so I should become humble. So likewise, what we are doing is we are training, Vaidhi Vidhi Bhakti, regulation, we follow strictly 4 regulated principles and we chant 16 rounds chant 16 rounds and we read Srila Prabhupada books. So, over a period of time, especially those people who are very sincere, they understand what is the aim of this whole thing. I'm sure you all know this. So you'll see the process. Oh, I let in the perfection of my life. Great. So then the battle starts. Mind, because we go through modes and there is a conditioning. There are temptations. The mind resists. But what we do is over a period of time, or eventually, we start neglecting it. Sometimes we become succumb to it, to the demands of the mind and senses. But then what we do, we start neglecting it. Actually, Bhakti Gyan Maharaj made a nice point. What is that? When we are an observer, soul is in the body, and the soul is in the body, and because of the false ego, we are misidentifying with the body, right? But soul, nothing happens to the soul. It is our illusion. It is our to the extent we are absorbed in bodily consciousness, that much extent we suffer. But actually, soul is actually separate. So, like an event of Karuna, for example, Karuna doesn't affect the soul. To the extent I'm absorbed in bodily consciousness, that much extent I go through the suffering because of the impact of Karuna. But soul is free. Free from whatever happens to the whatever happens to the body. Anyway, so when we understand, we become serious. We become serious in Vaidhi sadhana, bhakti. We do sadhana sincerely. But you all should remember, our first verse itself is Sada Dambam Hitva. Because we want to come out of the bodily platform, right? So Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, Rupa Goswami has given this process, right? What is that? Atav Siddha, Tado Sadhu Sangota, Tadha Anartha Nivritishyat. So what are the things, when you have some faith, then Krishna arranges the sadhu sangha, association of devotees. And then they tell you to chant the holy name, get initiation to everything. So get initiated, then so under the guidance of a spiritual master, you start performing bhakti. Then what happens? You start performing bhakti. Then what happens? Um, Anardhanivritti. The impurities, this like if the pot is burnt, imagine you boil the milk and you forget there, then pot becomes burnt. And it's so difficult. You have to scrub, you have to scrub it so hard. Likewise, our conditioning is so hard. So we are caught in the clutches of Maya. So what happens? Now we are actually, we are cleaning the heart. We are scrubbing the heart. So anyway, another nivritti takes very long time. Then the ruchi. Another nivritti. Shad. Tada ruchis. Yes, ruchi, taste. Not ruchi. What is it? Atho shraddha tado sadhasangata bhajana kriya. Nishta. Nishta ruchi. So nishta, you become steady, then the taste will come. Then asakti, attachment. Then bhava. Then sthayi bhava. So bhava means the first, the initial race of love of God. And it will thicken, sthayi bhava, then prema. So in the stage of bhava, our spiritual form is revealed. And actually it is said even bhava stage we can fall down. But sthayi bhava, once we go there, actually Bharat Maharaj attained the bhava stage. But still he became attached to deer and he fell down. So sthayi bhava stage, there is from there, that point onwards, there is no fall down. This bhava stage, we'll get to know our spiritual form. But we need to be a little careful, and because I heard from I heard from Anardhanivritti, after Anardhanivritti, Nishta to Bhava, it's very fast, Nishta to Bhava is very fast. So we have to be careful there. So anyway, the point is still Bhava stage we can fall, a person can fall down. But once he comes to Sthayi Bhava, and from there, no fall down. And the next level is Prema. So anyway, what is that? But all the four Vaishnava Sampradayas, they practice Vaidhi Bhakti, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. But Lord Chaitanya has come to give that Prema Bhakti. It's called Ragatmika Bhakti. It is there only with the Vrajavasis, the residents of Vrindavan. And the Prema Bhakti, what is that? It is there with only the residents of like Vrajavasis, right? So it is there with the Vrajavasis. What is that? What is that? In a realized state, and when a soul attains the perfection, soul has 5 relationships. That's what actually Rupa Goswami speaks. Raghunath Das Goswami speaks in this. The translation So what are the five? The purport it is explained. The five relationships. Santa, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Basically, Santa, there is no, the animals, in Vrindavan, they have the relationship. But basically, the service starts from Dasya. So Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, right? The Raktak Chitra Bhaktra, the servants of Krishna, they serve Krishna with a spontaneous love. They serve Krishna with a spontaneous love. They treat Krishna as their master, themselves as servants. They're always there. But you know very well, in the Dasyaras, there is not so much intimacy. There is no intimacy, And so when the bhakti thickens, then the next level is Sakyaras, friends, Sridhama, Sudhama, the Mangal Stop Krishna. Then next level is Vatsalya, Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. And the next level is Madhurya, the highest level, conjugal love, Sringararas, Radharani, and the younger gopis. So unlike Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Ragatmika Bhakti is spontaneous. Spontaneous means what? Those people who love sweets, you just give them, okay, gulab jamun. We are travel, we don't think so much. When you're 20s and okay, Rupa Goswami gives an example. Young boy and girl, and young boy and young girl, they get attracted actually, just like that. So likewise, the spontaneous service, like the pin, safety pin, which is very pure. There is no rust in it. If you put in front of magnet, magnet attracts the safety pin without any hindrance. So likewise, on that stage, the attraction is natural. Service, loving Krishna is natural, spontaneous. So Lord Chaitanya came to give this. All the four sampradayas, they speak of only Vaidhi Bhakti. There is no Ragana Bhakti. In other words, Vrindavan Raj Bhakti. So Lord Chaitanya came to give this, right? So, in other words, if we want to attain the perfection, this is actually, what is that? This is, how do I present? Monopoly. There's a, so of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, because Lord Chaitanya, it's not easy to attain that. Lord Chaitanya Lord Chaitanya came to give this from beginning, Radha Krishna Pranay Vikrita Ahladani Shakti Rasmat Ekatma No Api Bhupura Deha Vedo Gatotam Sri Chaitanya Prakatamudana Tadvan Chakmakam Radha Bhava Sulatan Nomi Krishna Surupam. So his Lord Chaitanya is different from Radha and Krishna. And so like he would give that. One lecture Bhakticharya Swami said, we are all struggling, struggling sadhakas, tormented by lust, anger, envy, greed, pride, false ego. Then, the target is very lofty. We can never attain. Definitely, we cannot attain this on our own. Any progress we make, it is not our ability. Krishna's mercy. That's why in the Damodar Leela, the 2 inches, our endeavor plus Krishna's mercy. Without Krishna's mercy, we cannot. The Krishna has unlimited mercy on gopis, unlimited mercy on all the Vrajavasis. That's why they could perform that type of bhakti actually. So, what is that? So Ragatmika bhakti is without Lord Chaitanya's mercy, we can enter. So that's why what is that? Bhakticharya Swami says, I know we are performing Vaidhi Bhakti. We are performing Vaidhi Bhakti. And we follow rules and regulations. 10-16 don't follow 4 regulated principles, and worship Chaitanya. worship Lord Chaitanya as Radha and Krishna. We saw the verse before, right? And then Lord Chaitanya will give us entrance into the Raganuga Bhakti. I mean Ragatmika Bhakti. So Ragatmika Bhakti means in the Bhakti is the spontaneous attraction practiced by Vrajavasis. Raga Anuga means follower. So if you want to follow practice Bhakti, Ragatmika Bhakti, you have to become the follower of one of the residents of Raj, one of the Rajvasis. For example, you want to practice Ragatmika Bhakti in the mode of Dasyaras. You follow Raktak Chitra Patrak. You need, their mercy. And you have to follow their footsteps. And if you want to, what is that? In Sakyaras, you want to practice Vraja Bhakti, so you need to follow the friends of Krishna, Sridhama, Sudama, those, all the friends. You follow their footsteps, So when you follow their footsteps and practice the Vraja Bhakti, that is Anuga. Anuga means follower. So to practice Ragatmika Bhakti, we need to follow the footsteps of the Vrajavasis. And same thing, we want to we want to practice spontaneous Ragatmika Bhakti in the mood of parental Vatsalyaras. You need to follow footsteps of elderly gopis, of course, especially Yashoda Mai, or elderly Gopas, Nanda Maharaj. So similarly, if you want to, same thing with Mathurya, what is that, conjugal love and Sringaras, we need to follow the footsteps of younger gopis headed by Radharani, any one of them, So that is called if we follow them, we cannot on our own jump in and establish a connection with Krishna. No. So Raga Anuga, that is Raga. Anuga means follower. So we need to follow the footsteps of these Rajvasis. Then only we'll make progress. Actually, people who are attending this call, I hope you all have read Nectar of Instruction. Very important point, actually. So anyway, what is that? So Raghunath Das Goswami is telling. So Ragatmika Bhakti is spontaneous attraction. Ragatmika is not there in Vaikuntha. You don't see Hanumanji practicing Ragatmika Bhakti. You don't see the residents of Vaikuntha. What is his name? You don't see the residents of Vaikuntha. Jay and Vijay. So you don't see them practicing. They all, you don't see the residents of Dwaraka. You don't see the residents of Mathura. How to speak of anyone. Even Krishna, within Krishna also, even within the purview of Krishna also, only Vrajavasis, Krishna Bhakti, the Ragatmika Bhakti is practiced by the residents of Vrindavan only, right? So, so by the mercy, as I said before, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya only, we can get to, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya only, we can get it. We can get it, and we can get entrance into this. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya is non-different from Radha and Krishna. And so, what is that? So, what is Raghunath Das Goswami's instructions in this regard? Why is he telling, why is he telling, clearly remembered and offer obeisance to Sri Swarupa, Rupa, and Sanatana Goswami and associates of Rupa. If you want to worship Radha and Krishna and in Vrindavan, means if you want to be a devotee, following the footsteps of Rajavasis, you need to first respect and offer a worship, offer obeisances to Swarupa Damodar Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami. You know, why? Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, for that matter, Lord Chaitanya, he would what is that? When Lord Chaitanya went to South India, I mean, actually, many times I thought of this. What Lord Chaitanya would do when people would come in front of him, Lord Chaitanya, by his glance, or he would embrace them. He would say, Krishna, 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 hey. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshamam, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahim. So Lord Chaitanya would he would sing, use his hands, he would raise his hands up in the air, and he would chant, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He would chant like that. And people would come, whoever would see him, Lord Chaitanya would say, Hari Hari. They would say, Hari Hari. The instant they would get love of God. That's why Mahavadanya. But Lord Shiva and Brahma are looking for Lord Chaitanya came freely to each and everyone. More fallen you are, you'll get more, you'll get the mercy fast. More. So, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, what is it? You don't see Lord Chaitanya, giving elaborate instructions actually. They instantly turn the love. Why? Of course, Lord Chaitanya took everyone, that generation, whoever was with Lord Chaitanya that time on the planet, and by the request of Vasudeva, that they took everyone back to Godhead, right? So, Lord Chaitanya, one time Gauram joked, if you think Prema Bhakti is nothing but jumping up and down, dancing like Lord Chaitanya, you'll end up in orthopedic ward. Because, so you need a doctrine, Siddhanta, that was done by Rupa Goswami. You need a doctrine, I mean, like for example, we teach nowadays 7 sessions, a prelude to Bhagavad Gita, and we give them Science of Self-Realization book. Then after 7 sessions, we start Bhagavad Gita. But we all know very well, what is the goal? Anybody, what is the goal? Why, why are we now, when somebody comes to our programs, why we don't start straight, Dharma Kshetra, Guru Kshetra? No. The 7 sessions are designed in such a way that will put you on the, that will bring you to the platform of bhakti, right? So likewise, Rupa Goswami is the Acharya for Rasa Sastra. He has given the that yoga of Rasa, Bhakti Rasa. He's the person. Because why, why can you feel like very important 3 names? Sarudhara Goswami, Rupa Goswami and his associates, and Sanatana Goswami. Sarudhara Goswami was actually very, very, very intimate associate of Lord Chaitanya, Lalita Sakhi, and Lord Chaitanya, in the nights, Antalila, what Lord Chaitanya would, Sarudhara Goswami is the one who knew the mind of Lord Chaitanya actually. So what he would do, so Lord Chaitanya came for 2 reasons, right? What is that? One, to experience Radha Bhav. Second is to distribute, I mean, of course, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, 3 internal reasons, 3 external reasons. We are not discussing that. But basically what he came to, is Krishna, he came to experience the Radha Bhav, the Radharani's love. But as a Yuga, that time it is, is coinciding with the Yuga, Kali Yuga. So as a Yuga, he came to spread, propagate the, what is that, Yuga Dharma, chanting of the holy name. So, what is that? But basically he came to experience that mood, right? So seeing his moods and his intense separation, Lord Chaitanya's ecstasies, Hare Krishna, when he would cry, flood, the tears that would come, so Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, the Ganga that emanated from his lotus feet before, is it emanating from his eyes? Like crying, profuse flood of tears. And that separation, you know, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Intense, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? That where is Krishna, you know? Wow. And you would cry. And based on his moods, Sarudana Goswami would, what he would do? He would sing that type of poems. You know, he would verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, you know, Bhagavatam or Krishna Karnamrita, or, you know, from Chandidas, Vidyapati. So he would recite. He knew the heart. He knew the heart of Lord Chaitanya, right? In fact, this verse was written by the ones, you know, what is that? Radha Krishna Pranayavritti Vikruti. It was written by actually Sarudamar Goswami. So, Sarudamar Goswami is the one who knew the heart of Lord Chaitanya, heart and mind of Lord Chaitanya. It is very connected. In fact, Raghunath Das Goswami, Lord Chaitanya interested Raghunath Das Goswami to Sarudamar Goswami because he's a secretary, you know, very intimately connected, you know. So in Jagannath Puri, it is actually Sarudamar Goswami. And of course, Ramananda Rai and both Ramananda and Sarudamar Goswami would be there. But Ramananda Rai also, you know, Vishaka Sakhi, and Arjun also, you know. So anyway, but Sarudamar Goswami, you know, being a renunciate, he would stay with Lord Chaitanya all the time. And he was a secretary, and he knew the heart of Lord Chaitanya. Anyway, and what is that? He knew how to pacify. He would sing. You know, he would sing, you know, the nice melodies, observing the moods of Lord Chaitanya, you know. So then the second one is Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami is the one who wrote this verse Namo Mahadanyaya. And Lord Chaitanya, when Rupa Goswami came and met Lord Chaitanya in Ramkali first time, Lord Chaitanya was amazed by their humility. He was very pleased by their humility. And Lord Chaitanya said, first give up your humility. Your humility is breaking my heart. So they were very humble. So in the first instance itself, Rupa Goswami pleased Lord Chaitanya by his humility. You know, though they were like prime minister and finance ministers, the brothers went. And what is that? Every year they would come to Jagannath Puri, you know, at least sometimes to attend Rath Yatra. So Lord Chaitanya, you know, what is that? In front of Jagannath, he would sing this song. You know, it appears like a mundane song, you know, but nobody doubted because this is Lord Chaitanya. You know, this is like Krishna himself. So one year, Rupa Goswami was there. When he heard this song, he immediately went, and what he did, he wrote a poem. He wrote a poem, and he, you know, he stuck it to the thatched shed, in where, you know, he would stay with Haridas Thakur. So Lord Chaitanya came to see, one day Lord Chaitanya came to see Haridas Thakur. Rupa Goswami went to take bath. So Lord Chaitanya entered, he saw this leaf, palm leaf, and he took it out and he read it. Wow, how is it? You know, that is the internal emotion Lord Chaitanya was having. You know, the whatever he was singing out, you know. What's that say Parananda saying? I forgot that verse, you know. I don't know fully anyway. So this verse, you know, my Lord in my, you know, what is that? And a very, very intimate description of Radharani, you know, addressing Krishna. So when he read it, Lord Chaitanya was amazed. And he asked Sarudamar Goswami, how is it that Rupa Goswami understood my heart? You know, this is, I mean, you can like, you know, if you have a little mercy, you know, you can study others' minds, right? But this is Lord Chaitanya, this is Krishna himself. So Raghunath Goswami said, my Lord, he understood you. I mean, he read your mind because your mercy, you gave your mercy to him. You bestowed your mercy. That's why he could read your mind. You know? So, wow. Lord Chaitanya actually instructed Prabhu Goswami, you know, in the science of Rasa Tattva. So Lord Chaitanya instructed him actually, you know, in Prayaga. And by he bestowed all the mercy. Actually, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, first Lord Chaitanya made the heart of Rupa Goswami, what is that? He made his heart ready for, understanding Bhakti Tattva. So he told, Bhakti is a shoreless ocean. One drop, Bhakti is a shoreless ocean. One drop will drown. Even one drop, you know, it's not easy, it's not practical to explain the whole ocean. But if you take one drop, and he's larger than he said, I'll take one drop and explain. But this one drop is enough to inundate, flood the entire, you know, cosmic manifestation. Wow. That is that is the power of bhakti actually. Anyway, Lord Chaitanya, before he instructed Rupa Goswami, you know, he prepared his heart, you know, he empowered Rupa Goswami to understand what he would be what he is going to teach, right? So he prepared his heart. That's why he said Krishna Shakti Vinataran Parivartan, you know. So without empowerment, we cannot preach, we cannot even understand also. So Lord Chaitanya, based on what Lord Chaitanya did, Rupa Goswami wrote this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. You know, other sampradayas, they respect like anything Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Wow, these are not there anywhere. You know, that's why Rasa Tattva, you know, in Prema Bhakti also, is that like, you know, even after Prema, one time this devotee was telling, there are 16 levels higher, you know, one Sunday fifth class he was telling. So, wow. So it's I can say you know, it's a monopoly of Gaudiya Vaishnavism because of Lord Chaitanya, because of Lord Chaitanya. And he infused these things, he called this with Rupa Goswami and because of Rupa Goswami. And what is that? And the third one, Rupa Goswami and his associates and Sanatana Goswami. You know, Rupa Goswami is actually our Rupanuga. That's why we are all called Rupanugas. So Lord Chaitanya, after the episode I explained, right? You know, after Lord Chaitanya sang that song in before Jagannath in Rath Yatra, when Rupa Goswami wrote that verse. I mean, Chaitanya Charitamrita explained actually, you know, what is it? Lord Chaitanya made Rupa Goswami an acharya, you know, an acharya to lead Krishna conscious movement. Rupa Goswami. That's why we are all Rupanugas, you know. So Rupa Goswami is a Siksha guru, you know. So, once we realize our relationship with Krishna, Sambandha Gyan, then we need to realize, I mean, Avideya. Avideya means the process. Process means we need a doctrine, we need Siddhanta. That was given by Rupa Goswami. That was given by Rupa Goswami. So that's why we say in our parampara, Sanatana Goswami is actually Diksha Guru, and the deity is Radha Madan Mohan, and for Samdagyan, and to get that Samdagyan, we need to worship Radha Madan Mohan ji. But Abhideya, the Guru is Rupa Goswami, and the deity is Radha Govinda. Abhideya means the process. And we need to follow the process to realize that, right? So, Prayojan Guru is actually Raghunath Das Goswami. I mean, Prayojana means okay. Once you attain the perfection stage, what happens? in our siddha, in our spiritual form, we keep serving. We continue serving Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. So the deity is Radha Gopinatha. So Prayajan Guru is Swarupa. So Prayajan Guru is actually Raghunath Das Goswami, and the deity is Radha Gopinatha. Anyway, the point is, so he's telling, so these worship these three. What is that? Swarupam Sri Rupam. Swarupam Sri Rupam Saganam Iha Tasyagrajam Api. Swarupam means Swarupa Goswami. Sri Rupam means Rupa Goswami. And Unka Agraja. Tasya Agraja. Agraja means brother, elder brother. Is Sanatana Goswami. And Rupa Goswami's associates. We need to worship. And actually now, I was reading this commentary. I told why Lord Chaitanya, because he was just infusing everyone with the love of God. But you need for the training, you need a Siddhanta. So Lord Chaitanya empowered Rupa Goswami. I said that, right? Same thing with why he did not mention Panchatattva, any of the names. Not even Nityananda Prabhu. In fact, by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy only, in Raghunath Das Goswami conducted Paniyati festival. Bhakti Vijnana Maharaj writes actually this one. Paniyati festival, and that's how he received the mercy to escape the jaws of Maya, and became the, like Nityananda Prabhu said, you will escape, and Lord Chaitanya would keep you under the shelter of Swarupa Goswami. This happened only when he conducted the Panihati festival by the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu. And Rupa Goswami also, when Rupa Goswami came to see Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya, who was there? Nityananda Prabhu, right? And so then, but why Nityananda Prabhu's name was not mentioned? Not any one of the names of Panchatattva. So Panchatattva, Lord Chaitanya, as I said, two things. What are the two things? One is Lord Chaitanya, he wants to experience, Radha Bhava Solid. So he wants to experience that mellow and distribute. The distribution is done by Panchatattva. So Lord Chaitanya distributed that love of God with the Panchatattva. That's why you see now, what is it? He distributed that with Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya and what is his name? Advaita Gadadhar Pandit and Srivas Thakur. So they all did. But Lord Chaitanya, they distributed with them. They distributed the love of God with them. That's his desire. But personally, he experienced the, sitting in Gambhira, he would experience that love for himself, and he would distribute. So Nityananda Prabhu, what he would do? He would go door to door. He would knock the door. They would open the door. He would fall at their feet. Wow. Guru Tattva. He would fall at their feet and please chant the holy name. And they would chant the holy name. When they would chant the holy name, immediately, and this is Nityananda Prabhu, right? So that's it, they would get the love of God. So, but it's very important. So that's what he would do. Because Lord Chaitanya infused Rupa Goswami to write the Siddhanta, step by step. That's why, okay, we'll chant. We chant. But also Prabhupada said, read the books. We need these both. What is that? One is we need to read the books and understand. And we chant. So they both are needed. The science is we need the science, scientific knowledge of bhakti, and the application of that. We chant the holy name. We need both. We need because okay, chant. What is the mood? How should we chant? What is the understanding? Right? That is important. Actually, what is it? Sachinandan Maharaj explains. Okay, you'll keep on chanting, but if there is no, excuse me, if there is no culture, you'll be chanting. Okay, I'm part of Gaudiya Vaishnavism and Ragatmik, I'm a Raganuga. So, Vraja Bhakti is actually, what is that? So Lord Chaitanya's mercy, all the Sampradayas only Vaidya Bhakti, but Gaudiya Vaishnavism is actually, Raga, we follow this Prema Bhakti. Okay, these are all fine. But where are we? Especially if you ask me, after this, I'm doing it, still same anardas, same anardas. After this many years, one devotee asked His Holiness Radhana Swami, Maharaj, when you explain about all this, the story of Haridas Thakur, you explain about Raghunath Das Goswami, you explain about, Rupa Goswami. It's very, it's wonderful to hear. But on a personal level, we are struggling with same anarthas year after year after year after year. Sometimes we get a doubt whether we'll, will we, will we ever make progress, even one step, So we are still the victims of the same lust, same greed, same envy, same anger. Radha Swami said, just continue doing what you're doing. One day, without your knowledge, you'll be elevated. One day, without your knowledge, you'll be elevated by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Because Krishna doesn't want to make it easier. That verse, Manahsiksha sahasreshu kaschid yatit siddhe. Yatadam abhisiddhanam kaschin mamit. Of course, in human race, majority are atheistic anyway. Sridhar Chitkalkar is mentioning. So many people are becoming atheistic. But those people who are theistic, 99% of people, they don't want this. Just okay, some spiritual insurance. But those people who are very sincere, they try to, they endeavor. Thousands of people endeavor. Out of thousands and thousands of people, one person will come to Path of Bhakti. In that, thousands of people are trying to understand Krishna. Prabhupada says, Krishna says, only one knows me in truth. Wow. This is Krishna. Says spirituality, that is not that much easy. But Srila Prabhupada's mercy coming, and Lord Chaitanya's mercy coming through Srila Prabhupada, he made it easier. He made the process easy, right? Anyway, the point I want to make is, so we need to be sincere, exceptionally sincere. That's why first verse started, Sada Dhammam Hitva. How easy it is to tell others, give up the pride. And somebody would ask, hey, what about you? These anarthas are stuck in the heart. But what is that statement? The statement of Radhana Swami is very hope-giving. Okay, one day. Let me continue. So that's why we chant. But what is the mood? Culture. What is it? Sachinandan Maharaj says, we need to have the culture, not just chanting. We will be chanting for one time actually in last in Mayapur this year only. Mother Urmila said, you may be chanting for 10,000 lifetimes. but you'll be there only. I said, wow, 10,000 lifetimes? Even one lifetime finding it difficult? So Janardhan Maharaj says, what is very important? Mood is important. What is very important? Mood is important. The environment, association of devotees, good devotees, sincere devotees. You know, so what is that? Um, we need to have the culture. Why culture? Okay, flower, the plant is there. Plant is very strong. But if you plant the plant and the soil is poisonous, the plant will die. Even though poisonous, the plant is healthy. So that way you may be very sincere, enthusiastic devotee, but you are surrounded by just all these, what is that? Kanishtadhikaris and all, gossip, and you will also. So very important thing is we need to create an association for ourselves. For that, we need to encourage others to become nice devotees. Why we started the chant, 32 rounds before Corona, we stopped it, of course, because nobody was coming to temple because of Corona. But it went for 1 2 months actually. Anyway, the point is the mood with which we chant. Many times I thought, why Lord Chaitanya made Nandanam Najana as the 4th verse, Nasundari. I don't want money, I don't want the followers, I don't want I don't want the allurements of the opposite sex. Why not him this, why he did not make das as 3rd verse and Trinadav Sunichan as the 4th verse? And then the answer is, unless we develop that type of humility, Trinadav Sunicana, let me tell you, these are all theoretical, I would think like this, and I'm presenting, but as I said in the beginning of the class, in the beginning of the, in the beginning, I said, every line I read is a slap for me. It's difficult, So, anyway, so unless, because nowadays, wherever I go, I thought, except this verse I can try and this verse I cannot practice. But it's telling, Prabhu, if you want, you need culture. What is that culture? Trinadav Sanishana. So wherever you go, finally it is coming, it is bringing you there only. Wow. Otherwise, all right. If you cannot practice, then next 10,000 lifetimes. Wow. Practice. What is that our Maharaj? Bhakti Rasayan Sagar Maharaj. He made a nice point. Either be humble or humbled. Wow. Either be humble or you will be humbled by material nature. Either be humble or humbled by material nature. Nice point. So what is that? We know why. What is our problem? We want to enjoy. Today, also mentioned. We want to enjoy independent of Krishna. We want to enjoy material world. That is the problem. So what is that? Unless we are willing to give up, we cannot come to the higher levels. We may read even Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, or we may need the, that Rasa Tattva. We may read the books written by Rupa Goswami, Ujjwal Nilamani, all this one, Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. But unless we are, without qualification, it's very difficult to enter. But you're all present in this conference call. You have bhakti means what actually emotion. Not that we keep on we keep on continuing to serve Krishna, but with no feeling. After some time, then we get bored. You're all present in the call means you have some emotion. You experienced that. For that reason, you are here. Krishna gives, and you experienced it, right? But how to go forward? You know. So material is like parthiv rasa, dead matter. It has a beginning and end. यही संस्पर्शजा भोग दुःख योन एवते आद्यन्तवन्तकौन्तेन तेषां बुध. What is that? Even Beatles, and actually I heard blues. Or 99% of cinema songs are what is that? Either describing the beauty of the heroine or feeling separation from heroine. That's it. So there is some what is that emotion in that, and people like it. So people like it, but the problem is it has a beginning and end. Adyantavanta kaunteya nate shramate buddha. It has beginning and it's boring. Anything you do over a period of time, it becomes you. It's boring. But spiritual rasa is not like that. It's a shoreless ocean, right? Shoreless ocean. Because that's where the Supreme Spirit Krishna is involved. And we have a relationship with him. And there's a loving exchange. So the point is, not that when we follow the footsteps of somebody, okay, Radharani and Krishna, there is a religion, there is some exchange happening. You sit like that. No, Radharani, what she will do is she will give you the same feeling. She will give you all the feelings and all the Manjaris and Radharani experience the feelings Radharani is going through. Wow. So so your heart will be flooded with ecstasy. Your heart is flooded with ecstasy. When these higher topics are spoken, many, why we cannot, I cannot say about the word appreciate, why we cannot experience, it's because we have no experience. It's only theory for us. Because unless we are fully purified, if still it is Vaidhi Bhakti, then Lord Chaitanya has to give mercy. Then only we'll come to that Raghavana Bhakti, right? Then the heart will be flooded. Heart is flooded. Bhakti Vijan Maharaj says, one day, they were doing Kirtan. One day they were doing just, Nagar Sankirtan, they were doing Sankirtan on the streets. And naturally we all have experience. When we do Sankirtan, people come to watch. One girl came, she saw, and that said, she started crying profusely. And like, what is that? As though you created some magic, as though they create magic, she followed them. She went with them to the temple. Then since then she started coming to Sunafest regularly. Then one day, just 3 weeks later, they saw her in sari. Because this Harinam has, evoked the feelings, that has touched her heart so deep. She identified herself with the process. She identified immediately with the, I'm sure many of you, we all have the same experience, right? So, but over a period of time, what happens? You all have experience. First 2 years, Krishna will give that experience. Then we struggle. And, then we start serving. Then we see, okay. So likewise, to go to the higher levels, we need the mercy of Vaishnavas. We need the mercy of senior Vaishnavas. We need the mercy of senior devotees. And we need to serve them. Then by their mercy, we make progress. So that's why we need the mercy of Swaradhamara Goswami. We need the mercy of Rupa Goswami. We need the mercy of Sanatana Goswami. And of course, Rupa Goswami and his associates. So this is what I can speak. Again, as I said, I repeat, I have no qualification, nor do I have any realization. Just cut and paste. Thank you very much. But there is unlimited, our hearts are still impure, no problem. We hold on to the feet of Srila Prabhupada, hold on to the feet of Guru spiritual masters, and hold on to the feet of the senior devotees, and practically all the devotees. And we continue. One day, with the hope, definitely one day we receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and we'll get entrance into this Raganuga Bhakti process. Thank you very much. We'll continue next week. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai. Manahsiksha. So we'll end it.
Jai.
Any question or any comment anyone has?
Prabhuji, can I ask you a question, Prabhuji? Prabhuji,
Yes,
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for these wonderful classes. Prabhuji, are these terms interchangeable, like Ragatmika and Raganuga? Because sometimes they're not interchangeable at all, right?
Actually, that's why I can repeat again. Ragatmika Bhakti is is actually a spontaneous bhakti practice for Rajavasis, and it's actually it's a spontaneous bhakti. It's not Vaidhi. Their attraction for Krishna is natural. They want to serve Krishna. What is that? The Raktakshatra Patra, they serve Krishna in the mood of servant, absolute servant. And what is that? The friends of Krishna, they serve Krishna in Sakhyaras. The friends the elderly Gopas and Gopis, the parents, they serve Krishna in Vatsaliras. And the Radharani and the younger Gopis, they serve Krishna in Sringaras, Madhuriras. So that is serving Krishna in those rasas. It's called Ragatmika Bhakti. And for us to follow, we need to follow the residents of Vrindavan. That's why I said in the beginning, if you want to serve, if you want to, experience that, you want to practice, what is that? Anuga means follower. So, you want to experience a spontaneous, you want to experience a spontaneous bhakti in the mood of Dasharas, you need to follow Raktakshatra Patrak. If you want to experience I can best word to use Prema Bhakti in the mood of Sakyaras, friendly relationship, we need to follow the Krishna's friends, And if you want to experience Prema Bhakti, Vraja Prema Bhakti, in the mood of Vatsalya, you need to follow Yashodam, Nanda Maharaj, like that. So Madhurya Bhakti, you want to be Prema Bhakti in the mood of Madhurya Ras, conjugal law, follow Radharani. Actually I can tell this. You will be attracted to particular, you always love Yashoda, how their dealings. You will read, if you want to serve, if you want to follow, if you want to attend Prema Bhakti in the mood of Vatsaliras, always you love Yashoda only. Yashoda and Krishna's dealings, how she tried to bind, and now the different verses. Though of course you follow other things, but this, your attraction is your attraction is very strong. You understanding?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That helps. I'm very grateful for these classes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat. This is Mahipal. I have one question, Prabhuji. So when we say that we need mercy of Mahaprabhu for to serve Radha Krishna, and again Nityanand Prabhu's mercy to serve Mahaprabhu, and even Raghunath Das Goswami saying Rupa Goswami's mercy. So what does it really mean in the practical day-to-day life? Like, does it mean that we should not, even while chanting, meditate or on Radha Krishna, or what exactly it really means practically?
No, basically, Prabhuji, our mood should be, we should be servant of servant, dasana das. We should be servant of our Guru. The Guru, like for example, when we make offering, we don't offer it to Krishna directly, right? That's why bhakti is very great. We know servant of servant, dasana das. So what we do, we offer it to Guru. Like Wednesday classes, Chaitanya Charitamrita, I was explaining, bhakti is performed by 64 angas. The first 5 are connected to Guru. First 5 are connected to Guru. So you are not telling, I'm servant of Krishna. You are not telling, I'm a servant of Chaitanya. You are not telling, I'm a servant of Nityananda. You are not telling, I'm servant. So what? Then who are you then? Prabhupada asked, who are you? Are you servant? Are you God? Prabhupada said, I am servant of God. This question was asked by Prabhupada, asked in Hong Kong. Then Prabhupada came back to the hotel, and the Prabhupada told Bhurijan Prabhu, these reporters, they cannot understand. Sir, being servant of God is a very advanced stage. I'm not servant of God. That positions are occupied. Yashoda position is occupied. Nanda Maharaj position is occupied. So then who are you? So what should we say? Prabhupada said, I am only servant of my Guru, Bhaksivasa Thakur. So that is Dasanada's mood. You're understanding? So you can continue everything. Whatever you're doing, you can do sadhana. But end of the day, your connection to them is through your Guru. Understand?
Okay. Thank you.
And I said the first 6 out of 64, first 5 are connected to Guru. And if you can recollect nicely, one is look for a bona fide spiritual master. Second, get initiated. Third, take instructions from him. 4, serve him. 5, under his guidance, serve the previous acharyas. These are the 5. So again, I forgot, I didn't finish. When you make an offering, Prabhu, actually you're right in front of Radha and Krishna, in like Radha Gopijan Vallabha. They are in front of you. But what you do? What is bhakti? Bhakti means humility. You offer food to your Guru. I'm not qualified. With all my impurities, I may not. I cannot offer in proper consciousness. I'll give it to my Guru Maharaj. What does Guru do? He gives it to Prabhupada. What does Prabhupada do? Prabhupada gives it to his Guru. And likewise, it goes to Lord Chaitanya. So likewise, finally, it goes to Radharani actually. Radharani removes impurities. Then Radharani gives it to Krishna. You're understanding?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Amma.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, when you said we should follow in the footsteps of the particular devotees in the...
Can you speak louder? I can't hear.
Have to read more about them, or do we have to Prabhuji, when you said we have to follow in the footsteps of the Brajvasis, what does it actually mean? Do we have to pray to them regularly or read more about them? How should we follow them?
No, nice. Thank you. Amma, if you ask me honestly, initially, we should, right now, what the bhakti we are practicing is Vaidhi Bhakti in the regulation. So, we should follow the footsteps of our spiritual master. We should we should follow his guidance, his instructions, and practice Vaidhi Bhakti. And do Vaidhi Bhakti and serve and worship Lord Chaitanya in Vaidhi Bhakti. then Lord Chaitanya will give entrance. Desire as a deserve before you desire. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this: we do not, if we don't have qualification, and if you put ourselves artificially there, it will cause us fall down. We should not do that. So practice Vaidhi Bhakti. Now, in fact, what we are doing, get up in the morning, attend Mangalarti, chant rounds, rather than artificially jumping, to the places where we should not jump. Rather than jumping, just practice Vaidhi Bhakti and continue the process. Under the guy, under the, after staying under the shelter of Guru, spiritual master, then serve Radha and whatever, just temple worship Radha and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. When Lord Chaitanya sees us sincere, one day definitely he'll give. And this will, you're listening, right? It will be there in the mind. So it will eventually evolve. Okay? So when we don't have qualification and we are heart is still we have not crossed the anardhanavritti stage, still impurities are there, then I think it's better not jump. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful class. Very nice to hear.
Any other question? Okay, we'll end it here. Thank you very much. Manahsiksha ki jai and Raghunath Das Goswami Path ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat Allah Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.